Hello, this is 1 mana left, and maybe you haven't heard from me in a little over a week, but I've finished my time in Titan Purgatory, and I've moved on to what I was born to do. I'm the mana guy. Let's mana stack. So, we're like 3.5 weeks into this league. Mana has been strong. Spark Archmage has been dominant, and most people have played it on Stormweaver. Now, the way most builds work is there's the scaling mechanic, and then there's the actual skills. This isn't any new tech to say Spark is strong. Everyone knows Spark is strong. Well, guess what? I'm going to be using Spark. I am going to build it a little differently, though, because my scaling mechanic is better than what the Stormweavers are doing. Picture a strong Stormweaver, alright? Now, maybe you're picturing like some 5 mirror character, yeah. Well, we'll get to that comparison a little more broken down soon here. But I believe the way I'm scaling this is just stronger than the way the Stormweavers are. So I went ahead and made a Gemling Legionnaire. You'll maybe see the reasoning soon. Now you might be thinking like, oh, isn't this just like isn't this the exact same as just a Stormweaver? We'll get to the differences in a second here. But the first major difference you might see is, let's see if I can find this. This character has, oh wait, what? This character has 14.4k mana. Your Stormweavers have like 5k at this budget. Because I'm not exactly scaling mana. I'm scaling int. Now, I pretty much just made this character. So, I have a day and 13 hours played, 37 hours. I actually started leveling the character at like 1 to 2 hours of AFK time. I'm not a fast campaign leveler, everyone knows that. So, I've only really been playing the character for about 2 days on stream. But, like, it's in the, like, I have no res cap. I have like 85 all res because I bought all these max res drool, but I don't have like the gear put together yet to actually cap my res. Like, the character is a little scuffed right now, but the power is strong. The scaling is powerful. So I'm just gonna get into it and show you the character. I have 155k Spark tooltip. You know, people asked in this game, can we get a target dummy? Well, the game kind of does have a target dummy. It's called Zesht 4. Now, I have all the breach points in here. So I've got Zesht up to 4. And, you know what? Actually, I'll do, like, the bossing setup. I'll go over the gem links after this, but, oh, you know, I'll just keep it this way for now. So, what are some of the differences right up front? Well, instead of a normal Archmage Stormweaver that has 100 Spirit with Archmage, I decided I wanted some quality of life, so I'm going for a setup that uses 160, because I like Blink, and Gemling gets some quality from its Ascendancy, which can add some Blink cooldown and make the cooldown even faster, so Blink is really nice on Gemling. It's only a 2.5 second cooldown, which makes your clear speed, like, really nice to add Blink in. But then for bosses, I use Cast on Shock Lightning Conduit, which we'll see in a second here. But remember, this is a pretty new character. I've been mapping on this character. I've been playing most of the time with 20 to 30 res. I've only very recently improved it to like 60 res. I've not died one time from 90 to 94. I had a death right away at 90 because I was testing the Lightning Conduit on an 82 Hyena boss. And it was my very first time testing the Lightning Conduit setup out, so I died to that because I didn't do it correctly the first time. But aside from that one mishap, I've actually not died mapping on this character. I had some campaign deaths and whatnot, but I've basically speedran level 94 with no deaths, even at times playing with 20 all res. Just because it's really, really stupid strong to have, you know, for most of it 11k mana. Recently I've upgraded to 14k mana. But you'll notice I don't really have mana problems. 99.9% of the game is just like clearing trash monsters. There's very few bosses. And unlike the Stormweaver that builds into regen, I'm taking advantage of a mechanic that is just mana on kill. which is fully enough to full sustain everything all the time. And then on bosses, the idea is you just kill them fast enough it doesn't matter. You know, there's a very expensive mana flask that can fix that completely, though. With higher budget, I will be using that, but we'll show off the idea that a Zesht 4 is like an uber pinnacle. It's like 32 million health or something. So this is about as high of HP as bosses can get in this game. So I'll show you what I do. It's simple. I turn off Blink, I turn on Cast on Shock. That's it. Although, I will, just for the sake of doing this correctly, use a little bit more damage here. I'll turn off Mobility here. And I'll do the, what's the Shock gem here? I'll show off the single target. Do I have the wrong gem in? Wait a second. I've screwed something up here. Hang on. I'm just doing, okay, I'm gonna do like the single target setup. Inspiration. I'll do considered casting. I'll go over the full gem links in a second here. But, there's the, what's the gem that makes it so that you get the, not mobility. Overcharge, this is it, this is what I wanted. I want to do overcharge for the lightning conduit setup, just to show that off. Like I said, I'll go over the full links here. But let's see a Zesht 4. Alright. He should have about 32 million HP, and this is like a very new character. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so, let's get to the elephant in the room. You've, I'm sure, seen a Stormweaver kill it faster than that. Yes. On, like, multi-mirror budget, Stormweavers can just one-shot that. But, I fought this boss yesterday, and it was a 3-minute fight. So, I've gotten the fight down to, like, 6 seconds, I guess. But I'll be doing update videos where I one-shot him. I've already done the endgame math. I'll have 20k mana, and I'll be killing that boss in one hit. So, what are the advantages of this character versus the Stormweaver? The biggest difference is actually just the fact that you just have way more tankiness. Once I get this character all the way together, like I said, I'll have like 85 max all res, and I'll have like, you know, even on like a medium budget, I'll have like 15, 16k mana. Whereas the same budget Stormweaver would be like 5 or 6k mana. So I'm way tankier. I have not had a single mapping death. Even, like, I'll just meme sometimes and take off the ingenuity and whatnot. And I'll just do maps of 20 all res. Now, yeah, a Stormweaver can do that as well, not die. But, like, if they do two things here, there will be some huge differences between a Stormweaver and the Gemling. The game is balanced right now. Honestly, it's way too lopsided and way too strong for Spark Archmage builds. And it's to the point where it just, like, doesn't really matter. The numbers are so high compared to the HP that the monsters have that you can basically just, like, full clear the screen anyways and nothing matters. And you can, like, on a well-geared character, just one-shot uber bosses anyways and nothing matters. There is a common sentiment that hopefully soon there will be a large nerf patch to these builds, to Archmage, to Spark. If this character suddenly had 75% of its damage removed, I would not notice any difference. Because yesterday I was just full clearing everything with 40k tooltip. Now I have 155k tooltip, as I showed earlier. And it doesn't really feel any different. So if there is an upcoming, like, 75% nerf, for example, Stormweaver's going to start to feel pretty bad. And this character would not feel any different. But I would be a lot tankier. So, I'm like I said, I'm going to be uploading, progress updates to this character as I get more powerful. But I think people might be looking at this right now and, like, in their head comparing this to, like, people that have been playing Archmage since launch on the 6th. I've been playing this character for 2.5 days. I farmed the gear for this character playing Titan with 9 rarity for 14 hours. That was my farming session to put together this character gear. Now today I did get a Moxwaddle upgrade, so that upped me from 11k to 14k mana. That was the big change. But like the rest of the, I got a boot upgrade too. But like the rest of the gear is just kind of gear that I bought, like kind of ghetto. I got a wand upgrade too, but I don't have like a +5 wand. My rings are very improvable. You might look at my amulet and be like, oh god, that's a crazy amulet. Yeah, there's a certain mod on amulets. I bought this amulet for 3 divines. And once again, you're looking at this and be like, oh, that's crazy. That's exactly what you want, right? Yeah, there's a modifier missing on this amulet that makes me do 50% more damage. It's called +3 gems. That's why this amulet was 3 divines. Because it doesn't have the 50% more damage modifier. Eventually, I'm going to get that modifier. And then this will become a much more expensive amulet. And then I'll kill that Zesh 50% faster. You get the idea. There's some things missing. But, I'll go over the gem links. I'll go over the tree. And, just kind of explain how I have it built differently. So, to start. Spark. Not too different here. Acceleration, obviously. More duration. Everyone uses this. What I take out? Mobility is what I normally run. I only use inspiration for bossing. Otherwise, I just stick it down on my blink. You can use overcharge here. But most of the time, I do considered casting. Either way is correct, honestly. But considered casting is what I normally do. And I pair that with faster casting. You might think this is like negative synergy, but it's just like a good 2-gem combo. For the most part, 25% more damage is considered a good support. So this combination is 0.85 times 1.25, and then it's 1.4 times more damage. So it's just the two of them together is about 50% more damage. And mobility's nice, once again, just because you can do like full damage while casting, basically. This is really stupid. This should not be in the game. Spells should not be able to just do full damage while moving. It's incredibly dumb. I don't know why they did this in the game. It's completely unbalanced. But yeah, even with mobility, I have 155k tooltip. And then I have the cast on shock with lightning conduit, Ellie focus, control destruction, conk effect, and then I could do considered casting in here for bossing. I still haven't quite figured out what I want to have permanently in there, but if I'm doing a hard boss, I swap this. But if I'm doing map bosses, honestly, I just walk in. And then I just like swap this on. It just dies instantly with 5 link. It doesn't matter. But normally I don't map with that. Normally I can just kill the bosses with Spark on maps. Because map bosses only have like 5-6 billion HP. They don't have like 30-something million like the Zesh does, where I need to actually swap stuff. But normally I just map with Blink. And then I swap to the cast on shock. I'll go over the tree and the ascendancy. And then I'll maybe just finish on like a map demo. So, the biggest thing here, it gives double attributes here, okay? The reason this is OP, in my current gear I have 1137 ints. You get 2 mana normally, but Gemling gets 4. And then my character has about 2 times mana because I have 35 on chest, 45 on shield, 12 on amulet, that's 92. 2 on boots, that's 94. I have 12 here, so that's 206. So it's this number times 2.06. So just from int right now, my character has 9,400 mana. I have 1.5 to 2 Stormweavers of mana just from int. And I'm going to scale this number larger. I'm going to get this character to like 20k mana, you'll see. This is not a 1-to-1 comparison between this brand new 37-hour character and a 5-mirror Stormweaver that's been playing for a month. This is... If you're already making that mental comparison, that already shows the power difference. You should be comparing this to a brand new Stormweaver. But if in your head it already looks like a multi-mirror Stormweaver, like granted, the multi-mirror Stormweaver does more damage than this, yes. It does like 3 times as much damage as this. But I will shoot way past that. And if there is a big nerf patch, the difference will become greatly exaggerated. We'll hopefully go from a point where nothing matters to a point where that difference does matter. But, okay. If you know what an Adorn tree is in PoE 1, you might think, oh, this looks like an Adorn tree. Well, here's the thing. On an int scaler, 5 int nodes aren't that bad. I have about 75% increased int. So each one of these nodes is actually about, what, 1.75 times? They're actually closer to 9 int each, which is, 4 mana a piece times 2.06. So each one of these int nodes is going to be 72 int. That's not bad. Now, you might think, oh, isn't all that pathing bad? Yeah, I have a bunch of sockets. Sockets are incredibly strong in this game. If you actually get, like, some 3 or 4 modules, sockets are broken. And there's mods on sockets that make this setup really good. Because you can get 2% mana gain on kill on jewels. You don't need this on every jewel. I don't have this on every jewel. I only have this on 3 jewels. 3 jewels with mana gain on kill, 1 or 2. I don't even have 2 on all of them. I have 1 on some of them. I think I only have 4% right now. I think I have 1, 2, and 1. So I have 4% mana gain on kill. That is enough to full sustain while mapping. You have to get Eldritch Battery, you have to get CI, and you have to get Mind Over Matter. These 3 keystones is what makes my character have 1 life and 0 mana. But then I just have full 14k mana as my HP pool. And this is, I think, where a lot of people... This is where the builds diverge between, like, a Stormweaver. 99.9% of this game is just killing monsters in maps. So, having sustain for your mana doesn't really matter. It actually doesn't matter at all. This was kind of the concept of this build. Just getting percent mana on kill is infinite mana. I actually just started this showing you the worst case scenario of this build, which is a boss. Because that's where a Stormweaver with like 2 or 3k regen would start to look a little better. But this character just decided that you actually don't need that at all. You just have sustain versus like, let's just do an incredibly hard map, all right? I'll do a 8 mod 510 quant level 80 map. I'll show the difference. It's a good demonstration because this map has a boss and it's got trash. Most maps are just trash. So you just get fully sustained by your mana gain on kill. But this setup, you'll see I'm just going to be permanently max mana. You would think that just relying on only mana gain on kill might be like weird, but I will never take damage in this map. I will kill everything instantly. And I will just always be full mana, because mana gain on kill is kind of broken. You really don't even need, like I said, you don't need this on every jewel. I path through like 11 sockets probably, and like 3 of them is enough. So this character, like I said, for a boss, I just switch Blink to cast on Shock, and then I just like pretty much kill the boss instantly. There it is. So that's a level 80 boss on like 600 quant, 548 quant. And then I switch back to Blink. That's how I do bosses. It takes like 2 lightning conduits right now on a 5 link. But I'm still kind of figuring out my my gems a little bit. Because I just got the lightning conduit. I just got the lightning conduit 6 link. So I've been playing with the 5 link up until now. And just kind of 2-shotting bosses. The thing is, with my current setup, the 6 link doesn't quite one-shot. In my current amount of gear, it does like 75% to like a tier 18 or a tier 16 boss. Because they have like 6 to 8 million. And right now my lightning conduits on a 6 link do like 4 or 5, so I don't quite one-shot them. So it doesn't really make a difference right now being on a 5 link, because on a 5 link I do like 3 or 4 million and it just 2-shots them. But, yeah, no, this is going to look pretty much like your current Stormweaver gameplay if you're used to seeing that. But the thing is, I like having Blink. It just speeds things up. On a lot of maps, I do them in like 60 to 90 seconds just because of Blink. I think if you're playing this game right now, and you're not using Blink, you're kind of trolling. There's the map. It's just better. Like, the whole game is mobility right now. Just not having Blink seems like trolling. It's just faster. You can go all the way to 11 on speed and have, like, the Jung Temporalis Blink setup. If all you're doing is map clearing, that's probably the best setup in the game. But I'm kind of angling toward... One, that Temporalis costs more in my entire build right now. But two is I'm kind of preparing for an upcoming nerf and trying to get the build in a situation where even if they nerf this build by, like, 75%, and then even if they turn around and, like, buff some bosses to, like, hit way harder, or they buff monsters to hit way harder, I'm angling this character to be doing way more damage and have way, way, way more tankiness than your typical Stormweaver. So I'm going to keep gearing this character and progress it to, like, 20k mana. I'm going to get it to where my lightning conduits are popping, like, 30 million per hit. I'm going to get it to where I can farm, like, you know, things like Simulacrum and all the Ubers effortlessly. I'm kind of already there, even though I'm 37 hours in, which is, like, a little disappointing. But I'll post the mobilytic setup on this. I'll show all the, you know, support links in order of priority on that with the skill tree planner. And I'll keep the progress videos coming on this character, but I'll see you guys next time.